is just fantastic. Well, I know I can't put this on the main channel. Topics like this are slightly contentious with a softer audience. Hello everyone, by the way, and welcome back to a Megon 2 Electric Boogaloo. Today we are going to go through another subject that got put to the side from last week's exhibition of stupid people that I think is still worth discussing because there are some really good talking points. Hence the title, Who Benefits from Modern Feminism? The short answer, according to two of the articles linked down below, cis-het, middle-aged, white women. That's the short answer. Don't worry though, we've got more to go through. Students at a £22,000 a year private school called Highgate, which is in North London, have been told that modern feminism's main focus is the problems of straight white middle-class white women. This comes amid a drive to tackle sexist behaviour at the school, which was stung last year by the Everyone is Invited scandal. That was an online forum where people could anonymously post their experiences of sexual harassment and obviously anything more to the forum, thereby putting their school on blast. Highgate was one of those schools. So Highgate hosted a forum. During that presentation, which was titled How Inclusive is Feminism, they stated that modern feminism's primary focus is not on who it should be, essentially. Hence why I earlier stated cis-het, middle-class white women. Cis-het, by the way, two words, heterosexual cisgender. Essentially straight white women, that's what it's meant to mean. Straight white women. This in and of itself creates a notion that only this group of women has to deal with sexism, which is what the document claims, adding that there can't be justice in feminism without brown, black, gay, trans, etc. feminism. In another presentation called How to Be an Ally, it called on pupils at the school to consider how best to use their privilege as a force for good, akin to that of a superhero power. Expect your letter to take you to Charles Xavier's Hogwarts. That's the right franchise, yes? Interesting little fact. Last year, pupils hosted a walkout protest because of accusations of a rape culture. For those that don't know what a rape culture is defined as a society or environment whose prevailing social attitudes have the effect of normalizing or trivializing sexual assault and abuse. A term that gained a considerable amount of traction in 2015 through to 2017 and honestly forgot it even existed up until the release of these recent articles. Many talking points presented by those that made videos talking about rape culture fundamentally got it wrong, and so they were summarily debunked by the court of public opinion more notably, but the ideas were still pushed forward by the, let's call them, louder voices, or those in power that could affect, let's say, real change? Sure. One of the main criticisms about this is that this, in and of itself, the forums, is nothing short of virtue signaling and not addressing the real problems. And for this we go to Tanya Carter from the parent group Safe Schools Alliance, quoted as saying, "The whole thing seems utterly bizarre. Why would a school at the center of the Everyone's Invited scandal concentrate on virtue signaling, such as telling pupils to think about their privilege, rather than seeking to address a culture that has resulted in appalling experiences for their female students? And the misinformation which is being spread about modern feminism is nothing short of irresponsible." With the teacher from a neighbouring school, whose pupils went to the forum, saying that she was concerned that a school so widely criticised for the behaviour of some of the students in terms of sexual harassment and sexual assault should launch an anti-sexism forum that does not deal with those issues whatsoever. Highgate School did put out a statement about the anti-sexism forum, where it said, "We commend the compassion and openness shown by the children and young people from all schools who attended and engaged with a varied and intersectional program, which extended far beyond what has been reported. Attendance at the forum was of course not compulsory, and for the pupils at Highgate sat within a broader context of balanced and nuanced ongoing work in this area. As a school, we recognize that these conversations are relevant for everyone. No one is exempt from witnessing or experiencing discrimination, including harassment or violence. It is essential that all survivors, victims of sexual violence, continue to be listened to and cared for. We know that girls and women are disproportionately affected by sexual harassment and violence, and LGBTQ+ people are more likely to experience child sexual abuse and less likely to report sexual abuse than their peers. Finishing with, we remain committed to working in close and transparent partnership with our pupils, their parents and carers, staff and alumni. Another issue with this, and it's something that many parents take great umbrage with, is whether or not they're actually teaching them something that they need. You can use intersectional feminism if you really want, but you might find because this is not compulsory, they're not going to turn up because a lot of people are going to be very divided on wanting to be associated with labeled, inspired movements. Teaching equality, compassion, respect, consent, acceptance don't require a label, and other parents at the same time will not want you wasting time on forums that have no bearing on the academic side of a school. And if you are a school being slammed with the Everyone's Invited scandal, perhaps address the scandal publicly in a manner that doesn't make it look like you are trying to virtue signal, because chances are it will do more to help your credibility. Now, there are other aspects to the Everyone's Invited scandal that many people who are skeptical will poke at. Legitimacy of accusations is important, and it's a tricky area if you suddenly say, yes, I'm just going to listen and believe. Again, tricky area, can't go on the main channel for obvious reasons. But if you've been hit with such a scandal with so many accusations, something isn't right. And it's not just in the school, even if it is a private school, where you probably want to get on top of those 5 earlier mentioned traits that should perhaps be instilled upon everyone. I'll just read them again so you don't forget them, shall I? Consent, respect, compassion, equality, and acceptance. Although equality is the overarching one, the umbrella term for all, I guess.